Alright. Sound effect, why aren't you going away? Alright, there it is. Hi everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch really old 16mm films. That one did not originate on 16. This one had a weird, circuitous route. It started off shot on 35 by Edison's motion picture studio. Then it was distributed on 35. Then they deposited a paper print of all the frames on big sheets of photographic print paper to the Library of Congress. The original film deteriorated. The Library of Congress slitted it up and spliced it together on a big reel, and then they optically printed it to 16 millimeter, made a negative, and I believe Black Hawk took the negative and made this print that we have today. So long route to get there. And yeah, oh, actually the splice broke, so that actually stopped a lot quicker than I thought. But maybe what I'll do is we'll watch a film and I'll make the splice and then we'll start it again. We'll watch the rest of it and we'll end it. Alright, that's what we're going to do. Did I say I'm Skip Alzheimer in this AV Geeks? I can't remember. It's Friday. Anyways, here's Salmaldi. Anyways, here it is.
I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Give unto the Lord, O ye mighty. Give unto the Lord glory and strength. Give unto the Lord the glory due to his name. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. The voice of the Lord is upon the waters. The God of glory thundereth. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord will give strength unto his people. The Lord will bless his people with peace. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Who shall ascend unto the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Wherefore, if God so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of these things. Through the years, so many of us have lost the art of fellowship with God. The busy days have made of us men and women who have become calloused to the fine touches of nature's beauty. No longer do we awaken with each new day thankful that we are alive. How far from the days of childhood have we traveled? And yet what great truth is resident in the insight of Jesus when there were brought unto him little children, and he said, "Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." How desperately we need to recapture the freedom of the childlike spirit, that we might once again see the world through eyes filled with laughter and with song. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. My soul thirsteth for God, for the living God. Ho, every one that thirsteth, come ye to the waters. And he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yea, come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not? Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord. And he will have mercy upon him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy water spouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Lord will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the God of my life. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him who is the health of my countenance and my God. O God, may the whole world praise thee. May all races praise thee. May the nations sing for joy. For thou rulest the world justly. Thou guidest the nations on earth. O God, may the whole world praise thee. May all nations praise thee. The land has yielded her harvest by the blessing of God, our God. Bless us, O God. Bless us till men revere thee to the world's far end. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who laid the foundations of the earth that it should not be removed forever. Thou coverest it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood there above the mountains. He sendeth the springs into the valleys which run among the hills, and they give drink to every beast of the field. By them shall the fowls of the earth have their habitation. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. The glory of the Lord shall endure forever. The Lord shall rejoice in his works. O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thought afar off. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit, or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
We now join the kleptomaniac already in progress. Wasn't that worth it? Alright. Skip, what are you doing to me? That's what I'm hearing. Skip, come on. Yeah. Anyways, wanted to be a completionist with that. Also, hey, I wanted to say that thanks to Google, I was able to find the name of those two Bechtel films. They weren't online on YouTube, but I was able to find through some university finding aids. The Canadian pipeline film was called Pipelines to Progress, and the other one, the Korean steam power one, was called More Power for Korea. So there you go. Just did a little bit of research and we found it. Here's a film about color and pigment. Enjoy.
This red is a color produced by a pigment. We put pigments to use in many ways. Colors produced by pigments take on symbolic meanings in maps to show boundaries of land areas or differences in elevation of the land. In packaging, colors are used psychologically to attract your attention and make you interested in a product. Colors may have another function. Traffic signs, for instance, often have this color combination to indicate a warning. But more often, pigment is used by artists to produce the colors and forms of objects they are representing. Pigment is simply the name given to the colored materials they use. The same pigment can be found in many forms: tempera, chalk, watercolor, oil. We are able to see colors only because of light. Any colored object reflects one or more of the separate colors which make up white light. Without light, there are no colors. White light is actually a combination of many colors. If we shine a beam of white light through a prism, the light is diffracted into the colors of the spectrum: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. We can imitate many of the colors of the light spectrum with pigment colors. We call red, yellow, and blue the primary colors. With these three colors, we can make the rest of our pigment color spectrum. Red and yellow make orange. Yellow and blue combine to form green. And red and blue make violet. So, from combinations of red, yellow, and blue, the primary colors, we have made the secondary colors: orange, green, and violet. Now, by mixing primary colors with the secondary colors that are next to them, we get intermediate colors. The primary red and the secondary orange form the intermediate red-orange. In the same way, orange and yellow form yellow-orange. From yellow and green, we get yellow-green. Green and blue make blue-green. We mix blue and violet to get blue-violet, and violet and red to get red-violet. Sometimes these primary, secondary, and intermediate colors are arranged in the form of a wheel. This color wheel is based on 12 colors. Colors that lie opposite one another are called complementary colors. So, on this color wheel, the primary color red is the complement of green. Yellow is the complement of violet. And blue is the complement of orange. Of course, you know that there are not just 12 colors, but hundreds of colors. How do we describe them? Perhaps you have described colors as being light or pale. Light green grapes, light golden brown wheat, pale yellow chicks, pale blonde hair. Or sometimes you may have described colors as being dark or deep. A dark blue dish and goblet, a dark brown horse, deep red, green, and purple fruits and vegetables. Or perhaps you've described colors as having different tints or shades or tones of a single color. But there is a more precise way to describe colors, in terms of dimension. This color solid is one of several systems for arranging colors in 3 dimensions. The leaves of the solid are arranged by hue. The hues are arranged vertically by value and horizontally by intensity. Now, what do these terms mean? Hue is simply the name we give a color: red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, yellow, and so on. In this color solid, the hues have the same circular arrangement as they did in the color wheel we saw before. Hues are simply different colors. To see what we mean by value, let's look at just 2 leaves from the color solid: blue and yellow. Value simply refers to how light or how dark a color is when it's compared to a gray scale ranging from white to black. Each colored chip shows a different value of blue and yellow. The lower the value, the darker the color. We can get a better idea of values of different colors by comparing them to the same grayscale when photographed in black and white. The values of the colors can be matched more easily this way. Now that we have matched the values, let's see the colors, or hues, again. You can see that this yellow is high in value. The blue and violet, low in value. And the red and green are middle value colors. Our third dimension of color is intensity. Intensity refers to the purity of a color. Here is orange at its highest intensity, a pure orange. But as we move along this horizontal scale, the orange hue decreases in intensity. The color becomes less pure, more neutral. So this arrangement shows change in intensity for different values of orange. We can reduce the intensity of a color, such as blue, by mixing it with various amounts of its complement, orange in this case. The blue becomes less intense, more neutral. The same thing is happening to the orange. We can also change intensity by mixing a color with neutrals, orange with black, orange with gray, orange with white. We get a wide range of variations by mixing a color with different amounts of these neutrals. Here is the effect of mixing orange with increasing amounts of black, orange with gray, and orange with white. This arrangement of the color solid, then, shows us orange in many different intensities. Now let's describe a color in our dimensions of hue, value, and intensity. You can see that the hue of this color is yellow. The value is near the middle of the scale. It is a middle value color. This color is about half intensity. Artists and designers have long known that colors can affect our moods and feelings. Variations of yellow here give a bright, cheerful feeling. Variations of blue suggest a feeling of coldness. The artist painted this picture using mainly warm colors. What do we mean by warm and cool colors? From red through yellow-green are the warm colors. These are the colors you see in fire, the rising and setting sun, new leaves in spring. From blue-green through blue-violet are the cool colors. These are the colors you see in distant mountains, the sea and the sky, and on rainy days. Violet and green share properties of both warm and cool colors. Another way of suggesting mood is by control of values. The use of high-value colors in this painting helps suggest a bright, happy scene. While in this scene, the low-value colors add to a sense of depression or foreboding. Colors can be disturbing or unpleasant if they do not harmonize. That's why in what we wear, we try to select colors that go together, colors that please our senses when seen next to each other. There are various kinds of color harmonies. The simplest harmony is a monochrome, an arrangement of different values and intensities of the same hue. This painting is mainly a monochrome of blue. Another simple harmony uses adjacent or analogous hues. In this painting, most of the colors are found next to each other on the color wheel. Color harmonies can also be based upon color complements and the near or split complements. Here, the dominant color blue is harmonized with its complement orange and split complement colors. We can see various color harmonies carried out in room interiors. This is the red room in the White House, where a monochrome harmony is used. Variations in value and intensity of the same hue. Similar harmony is used in two other famous rooms in the White House: the green room and the blue room. This modern interior uses a monochrome harmony, accented with neutrals. This is an arrangement of complements and split complements. And in this room, analogous colors are used. So you've learned something about pigment and color. You've learned to describe color in 3 dimensions. In terms of hue, the name we give a color. Value, how light or dark a color is. And intensity, the purity of a color. What you've learned will help you understand how color in art and interior design can be used in various values and intensities to create certain moods and enrich our surroundings. What you've learned can help you put color and pigment to more effective use.
It had color, right? Excruciating amount of information about color. So there you go. Thanks, Cornet, for that. So behind me, I have some commercials set up from the 70s and 80s. Seems to be you guys like those, and so they show up every once in a while. So let's see if we can do this without the splices causing problems. So 2 ways that the splices can cause problems if we're going to geek out a little bit. One way is if it just breaks. The other way is if it's sticky. So for example, if somebody had taped down, and so commercials actually come on little tiny 50-foot reels, little plastic reels. And folks like I and my assistants basically put together compilations of those things. But if they're taped down and they're used with a tape that has a really bad adhesive issue, then they might stick to the back of the film and of the film that it's touching. And so when it's going through, it might go pop. And when it pops, then it loses tension. So we're going to give this a shot, and hopefully this will work. So this is more TV commercials, Reel B. Enjoy.
It can neutralize unpleasant kitchen odors and make last night's card game just fade away. The Wearing Air Freshenizer, a new way to make the air you breathe easier.
I'm economizing, but still serving good-tasting meals by remembering my ABCs. ABC stands for accent before cooking. Because accent flavor enhancer unlocks the good natural flavor trapped in food. So my family eats well, and it costs me less than 3 cents per pound of meat. Remember your ABCs. Accent flavor enhancer before cooking. It's a lesson in flavor.
Recently, in a room like this, a medical panel reviewed America's antacids, then published this report. Among their conclusions, Rolaids single ingredient was medically recognized both safe and effective, taken as directed. Rolaids has no extra ingredients not intended for your stomach. Its one active ingredient consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. When you have acid indigestion, remember, Rolaids single ingredient was medically recognized, safe and effective.
That's little Lizzie, a finalist in the Midget Bowling League.
Liz, you chew a lot of gum out there. What kind?
Trident sugarless gum.
Why Trident?
It tastes good.
Ever hear 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum?
Yeah, on TV.
How does your mom feel about Trident?
Well, the only gum my mom lets me chew.
Trident for families like Lizzie's who care about their teeth.
When royalty visits the valley, the giant rolls out the green carpet and brings out something special.
Oh, the little sure peas.
Tender little peas with a rare, delicate flavor, frozen in a pouch with the giant's special butter sauce. You cook the peas in butter sauce, not water, so you get all their special flavor. The giant's frozen Le Sueur brand peas. Next time your family wants something special,
Let them eat these. Oh.
When I was a boy, I thought the soup my mother made was the best there was. The aroma of simmering chicken broth would fill the kitchen. There were always plenty of fresh-cooked noodles. It was the kind of soup to grow up on. Now I'm a big boy. The soup my mother made is still the best. Lipton soup. Little boys never forget.
Lipton noodle soup. It always smells fresh and tastes good because it's never been soup before.
I go out and I tell my friends about it.
If you like ham or if you like sausage, if you like the Morningstar Farm product.
These people are talking about Morningstar Farms breakfast links, patties, and slices. Textured vegetable protein with no cholesterol, no animal fat.
I didn't really know how it was going to taste. And then when I did taste it, it was really good.
I like the taste of it very, very much.
In the Morningstar Farm section of your grocer's freezer.
I'm going to buy them again because I thought they were that good.
Thinking about a new car? These days you certainly don't want to buy more car than you need. Yet you still need lots of room. Especially when you go visiting. And you feel you've earned a little comfort in your life. Well, look at this Le Mans. A smaller size car from Pontiac that comes with a 6-cylinder engine and runs on regular gas. Not too big on the outside. Not too little on the inside, so there's room for everybody. And you can get it with as much comfort as you want. Lots of trunk space, too. Besides, Le Mans is a wide track, so you know it rides smooth and it's fun to drive. Now, can't you just see yourself in a new Pontiac Le Mans? Le Mans is at your Pontiac dealers now.
The blimp hovers over the Super Bowl, just waiting for the right moment to destroy 80,000 innocent Americans below. As the blimp plunges downward, the story races to a shattering climax in the #1 super thriller of the year, Black Sunday. Do not begin this best-selling novel unless you are prepared to finish it in one sitting. Black Sunday, a Bantam paperback.
In the Cadillac, well, he wears hush puppies. Ruby suits with a narrow back, and he wears hush puppies. Feeling easy by the sea with a foxy lady on his knee. Well, he wears hush puppies.
You can't feel free if your feet don't. So Hush Puppies liberate your feet in any style.
Nothing goes right when your foot's uptight.
You can't be cool when your feet are uptight. He's wearing hush puppies.
Weren't biting? No, but the mosquitoes were. And I got a rope burn.
I got a cut.
I've got the Bactine. Line up. You first, Susie.
For mosquito bites and those little cuts and scrapes, Bactine eases pain, fights germs that can cause infection.
Thanks, Doc.
Sure.
Fishing, anyone?
Here, Tad.
This may be the best catch of the day.
Bactine helps the hurt stop.
This week, TV Guide reports on television's coverage of America's 200th birthday party. Read about the festivities in TV Guide.
Omega discovered and brought back a collection of giant amethysts and other fiery stones, transparent enough to make fabulous watch crystals. So we placed them on the face, fashioned queen-size watches under them, and wrapped the watches in a king's ransom of gold. We call this the Great Stone Face Collection, one of the treasures at your Omega jeweler.
Hamilton, rooms manager of the Barclay Hotel, speaking for new Listerol spray disinfectant from the Listerine people. I liked Listerol so much, I asked my housekeeping staff to use it. Listerol has 4 germ killers to kill odor-causing germs, prevents mold and mildew, and is proven more effective in controlling their odors than the leading brand. And such a clean smell. Just what we want in our 800 rooms. Now we're using only Listerol in this hotel.
Listerol spray disinfectant, the new germ killer.
Here we go.
That's John Moss of the Blair Street Broncos working on his forward pass.
Better. You ready? Terrific.
Hey, Johnny, you chew a lot of gum out there.
Huh? Trident chewless gum.
Why Trident?
I like the way it tastes.
Another good reason is 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
And there's one more good reason.
What's that?
It's the only gum my folks let me chew.
Trident for families like Johnny's who care about their teeth.
Is a piggy bank, even though it looks like a wearing blender. It saves by making the most of whatever you buy. Make your own mayonnaise, grind soybeans and add them to chopped meat to make more chopped meat. It saves by turning leftovers into a variety of delicious meals, by turning most table foods into nutritious baby food. This may look like a piggy
that went away is without the splice breaking, but splice just broke. These are tape splices, and they're single tape splices. So what I do is I use a double tape splice. Here we go. We're learning a lot today, whether you want to or not. So this is a guillotine tape splicer for 16, and what it does, let's see if we can do this without slamming this on my finger, is, so this is the tape that goes across the film, and then here is where the flap, it makes a flap, and then you can take the flap and wrap it around, so you get like a double splice, and you don't get that stickiness. So somebody's in trouble for doing not so great of a splice. But in the meantime, let's watch Romance of Silk while I fix this splice. Enjoy.
For many hundreds of years. Our history tells us that more than 2,000 years ago, camel caravans laden with rich cargoes of silk moved across Asia, forming a bond between the East and the West. Since those early times, silk has been known as the queen of fabrics because of its bright sheen, its soft texture, and its amazing durability. Kings and queens, Khans and emperors, Mughals and Mikados have cherished the luxurious qualities of silk through the ages. In my country, the manufacture of silk is almost as old as the cultivation of rice. Even before our history was recorded, Japanese people have been making silk. Our high standards of skill are the result of this long tradition. The romance of silk, as I know it, really begins in the foothills of eastern Japan, northwest of Tokyo. Here, as in many parts of my country, land suited by mountains. The farmers in this area raise only a few vegetables and very little rice. Their important work is to grow food for silkworms. This food is the leaf of the mulberry tree. It may seem strange that this old farmer should spend most of the years of his life taking care of insects, but that is his work. He is an expert in the cultivation of silk, a skill which he will pass on to his sons and to his grandsons. The silkworm is a fussy fellow, for he will eat nothing but mulberry leaves, but we pamper him because he is such a valuable friend to us. Throughout the growing season, the mulberry leaves are nourished by loose loam and blessed by the cool rain and the warm sunshine. At the proper time, the tender leaves are picked by the women of the village who move through the fields in busy groups. With their big baskets filled to overflowing, the women and girls go to the farm buildings where the hungry silkworms are waiting for their food. Over the years, the women who collect the leaves have developed a costume which is not only colorful but practical. Silkworms, as you may know, are the larvae of the silk moth, which we Japanese consider the most valuable insect in the world. The silkworms are fed only the tenderest leaves, which are chopped and prepared according to the age of the worms. The caterpillars also have their regular feeding hours, just like small children. Their appetites are so ravenous that several thousand of them eating together in one room make a noise like falling rain. Each year, from spring until fall, several generations of silkworms receive the undivided attention and considerate care of the hard-working farmers and their families. Everyone watches over the fascinating development of the caterpillars through the entire cycle of their lives. It is from the cocoons that the moths, the parents of the silkworms, make their first appearance. Just 4 hours after they emerge into the outer world, the moths lay their eggs on cards which are prepared for the purpose. Then, very soon, their individual lives come to an end. But life goes on, and from the tiny eggs, small black caterpillars are hatched. Just as soon as they are able to move, they start looking for something to eat. Mulberry leaves, of course. They grow slowly at first, but because of their hardy appetites, they are fully grown in 3 to 4 weeks, at which time they are about 3 inches long. When they stop growing, they stop eating. They are then ready to spin their cocoons. To help them, the farmer and his family move them to trays of rice straw. In these beds, the worms instinctively fasten their silk threads to a handy support and start spinning their cocoons. Sometimes, I think they make their cocoons so that they will be more comfortable during the long sleep ahead of them. But what is most important to the world is that in the making of the cocoons, silk is created. Through a miraculous process which takes place inside their little bodies, the silkworms transform the mulberry leaves into silken fibers, which are almost invisible, but very strong. The silkworms are hidden from view, and in 3 to 5 days, their work is completed. Believe it or not, each one has woven a strand of silk 1/2 mile in length. The silkworms have earned a good rest, but as you see, they are not allowed to sleep. The silken fibers must now be unwound so they can be spun into thread. To do this properly, the cocoons must be prepared and packed so they can be taken away to the filature, a silk reeling factory. so there is no delay in the intricate processing of the silk. Inside the silk filature, the cocoons are dried and cleaned, after which they are boiled. During this process, they are carefully graded for firmness, reelability, and weight. To keep quality high, only the best grade cocoons are selected for reeling. The poor silkworms are to be discarded during the process of unreeling because their days of usefulness are over. The ends of the filaments are separated in the warm water and threaded onto the reels. No matter where the work of the unreeling takes place, whether on a lonely farmhouse or in a busy filature, the process is tedious and requires the special skill of trained, patient women. I have often watched these women, and I am always impressed by their sustained powers of coordination. They seem to take great satisfaction in the careful performance of and in the machines which give a constant musical pattern of rhythm and sound. When I visit a silk filature, I think of our Japanese musical instruments, like the koto and the shamisen. Do you not agree that the music... One of the most satisfying things about modern industrial life is the harmony which exists between the efficient machines and the competent people working together to create more wealth and more products for everyone, from the Japanese farmer in the hills to the lady in a distant land who will receive the finished silk in one form or another. But there are many processes to go through before the silk is ready. Here it is being wound on reels for dyeing. During the processing at the filature, the tiny filaments which were unreeled from the cocoons have been brought together to form endless miles of thread. After the thread has been carefully prepared, it is taken to a nearby textile mill for weaving into cloth. Today, in Japan, the weaving of silk is a thoroughly mechanized industry. With the exception of a few highly artistic weavers who work on hand looms, most silk yardage is woven on wonderful machines which almost think for themselves. The finished cloth is as perfect as man can make it, equal to the best of any land. Great quantities of silk are shipped abroad, but much is used at home. Among its many uses, we Japanese think that perhaps the most appropriate is in the kimono, our traditional costume. In the kimono and in the obi, a wide sash which goes around the waist, we see the most perfect example of the utilization of this exquisite fabric. Much of the beauty and charm of our traditional dances come from the generous use of silken fabrics. For thousands of years, we Japanese have appreciated the bounty and the beauty of our land. But to a tiny insect, we owe a very large measure of thankfulness. For as in olden times, we consider that silk is a miracle of nature, as well as a masterpiece of mankind. It is my hope that other peoples in other lands will always find each day of their lives to be a little more happy, a little more beautiful, because of silk, the queen of fabrics.
Writing problem. Sorry, one sec.
Blender. It saves by making the most of whatever you buy. Make your own mayonnaise, grind soybeans and add them to chopped meat to make more chopped meat. It saves by turning leftovers into a variety of delicious meals, by turning most table foods into nutritious baby food. This may look like a piggy bank, but it's a wearing blender and it saves you money.
I served Walter Chungking frozen chicken chow mein here and the other well-known brand there. Okay, Walter.
Oh.
You chose the Chungking. Maybe it's because Chungking looks so good with all those colorful and crispy vegetables. Maybe it's the rich sauce or those chunks of tender chicken. But it's probably...
All right, we're going to call it. Yeah, this is going to require a lot more prep work. Sorry about that. I know, it's frustrating. But we saw some great ads nonetheless. And who knew that Morningstar Farms was an entity... Well, I mean, it was owned by Kellogg's the whole time, but it's amazing that they had veggie sausage back then. But thanks for joining us today. Hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll be back again next week. As always, rewind. But please rewind. Love each other. And if you like what you saw, you can buy us coffee. Hit the thumbs up button. That's a great way to say thank you. And we will see you soon. Take care.